Ciao!
Ciao!
This is my VIP student, Robin. Ciao, Robina. Can you say some sentences about yourself first?
Mani sauc Robin. Es esmu no Amerikas Savienotajiem valstīm. Man ir 3 metas.
Mm-hmm. All right, so maybe you can tell us, how did Latvian and Latvian language came into your life? Why Latvian? Why did you start learning Latvian?
Yeah, well, really it all comes down to my grandma. So my grandma is from Latvia originally. So like a lot of families during World War II, her family had to flee. So she lived in a displaced persons camp for some time with her family in Germany before eventually being sponsored to come to the US. But when my grandma talks about Latvia, she talks about Latvia with like such warmth in her heart that it's like hard to not feel connected.
Wow.
So I've always wanted to learn. And really before, when I had looked, there wasn't that much out there. So I was really happy when I found your course on Facebook originally.
Mm-hmm. And how did you know that this is the right time to start?
Well, when I first saw about your course, it was not the right time. I was so busy, but there's something about your posting that it just felt so genuine that I was like, this is the one. So I remembered, I was like, that's it. Like, let's look this up for later. But I realized that this next school year, my youngest is starting kindergarten, and there's going to be so many changes for me. And I was like, it's easier to maintain something than start from the beginning. So I was like, let's get started now. So it's easier next year when I add different things into my life. So.
Yeah. And why did you choose the VIP plan and not the premium plan?
For me, for the most part, it was accountability, actually. So when I have something on my calendar, I'm like, okay, every Monday, say I have to do this. It keeps me motivated to, stay studying when it's a hard week, because as a parent, some weeks are really hard. And I'll be like, oh no, it's in a few days. I need to get back to it. So accountability was one thing, but also I just feel like with learning a language, the just speaking practice and listening practice is so vital. And I felt like the best progress is just doing that regularly. So it was VIP, no question for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And can you describe the learning process in the course for students who are not familiar with my courses, like at all? How would you describe it?
Yeah. So, well, for me, the first thing I do is I watch the pre-recorded videos that you made, which are wonderful. And sometimes I watch it like just one time through and then try to remember, like, what did I just do, but there's PDFs. So I use the PDFs a lot when I'm on the go of the video lesson. So like, especially if I need to be in a quiet place, like a doctor's office, waiting room, something, I'll look at the PDF. So that's great because you can do that anywhere. I've done it on my phone, iPad, computer, everywhere. But there's also little exercises, which I think have really helped me tremendously. So like the writing exercises, some reading exercises, listening ones. And those ones are always so difficult for me, but then you feel good about it afterward when you finally got into it. But
yeah,
it's great. Actually, I like the flashcards too. You have a little bit of everything there.
Mm-hmm. I remember that in one of our first lessons, you were worried like how it will be, like how you will manage to do everything. Mm-hmm. But you are so hardworking. I'm really proud of you. Yeah, like to every lesson you come prepared. with a list of questions that you want to ask me, and yeah, that is perfect. You're
Yeah.
yeah, you're doing so well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, actually, one thing I love about the VIP lessons is how you really tailor it to the
Mhm.
student, I feel, because I think some weeks I've come in like very focused on one particular like video lesson and just wanting to practice that. But other weeks, I'm like, okay, what's going on in my life this week? What can I learn
Mhm.
about this? So I feel like there were a couple weeks that I was like, just teach me like every word in my house. You know?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
let's learn how to say bed. Let's learn window. Let's learn.
yeah.
So that's an easy way to fit in practice, like without any notes. Like I can literally be in any room of the house and just look around the room and be like, Dorvis, there's a door right there, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So that was really helpful for me. And I was always very grateful that you're just down to do like whatever I had
Whatever
in
you
mind
want
to
to.
learn that week. So that's been awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. I like I remember this lesson that you asked me about different, like, it was one of our first lessons, actually, I think, that you
Hmm.
asked about like some random objects in the house that you were just walking around in house. Then you were thinking like, what is this called in Latvian? Or even your daughter wanted to know something in Latvian. And I was so surprised that
Yeah.
your daughter learned some phrases in Latvian, which is so cute and so special. Yeah. So I was
Yeah,
super
my
happy
oldest
about
has
that.
taught quite a few kids how to say I am American, not only in feminine form. So I'm like, Ada, be careful there. You might not be teaching them the correct way, but she's so funny. I love it. So um, they
There
enjoy
was
it too.
something else like a phrase that I thought that's interesting that you wanted to know how to say it in Latin, but I don't remember anymore.
Yeah. Maybe it was
I
you're
think every
welcome
week there was
because I couldn't
something.
remember. Like she kept asking me, "How do you say you're welcome?" Because she would remember "thank you,"
Yeah.
and I kept being like, "I don't remember," and I keep forgetting to ask. So you said it one week randomly, and I was like, "That's hilarious. Thank you." Ada will be so happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're a mom and life is busy, right?
Hmm.
So how do you find time for Latvian?
Oh my gosh, it changes week by week sometimes, which is sometimes tough, but I've just been figuring it out. Like when you become a parent, you have to learn how to be very flexible. So I tried at one point, let's wake up really early before the kids are up. And then I realized I am not a morning person. I am not doing so well here. So I switched it back to nighttime when they get in bed to study is my main, like, focused time. But
Mhm.
twice a week, my youngest receives services at the elementary school. So I know twice a week that's 30 minutes in the car. I can be studying with the PDF or sometimes the
Mhm.
video. But I just try to sneak it in here and there. And some weeks are much easier than others. So some weeks it's easy, some weeks it's like it is what it is. But in those
Yeah.
moments, you have to show yourself some grace, which has been a good thing
Exactly.
for me to remember, you know? So it's not like I have a test I have to take for it.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
all
not saying,
self
Robin,
imposed.
why didn't you study?
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, I really like what you said about sneaking it in because
Hmm.
I like the idea about changing the perspective. It's like either you think, oh, I have only 30 minutes, or
Hmm.
oh, well, I have 30 minutes. So I was telling you before the call that my son wanted me to make pancakes for him. And it was 30 minutes before the call. But I just before the call, I remembered about this changing perspective, like
Yeah.
how you think about the time and how you spend the time.
Yeah.
So that's really important. And I always tell my students like 10 minutes a day learning Latvian is better than
Yeah. Yeah. I
nothing.
fully it's the snowball effect. Are you familiar with that? Like it really, it really feels like the snowball effect. Like even 5 minutes a day, like if that's all I can do, some days that literally is it. And there's been a couple of days where it's just, you're sick, you're not feeling well. You have to take care of yourself and your family first.
Of
Maybe
course.
you don't get it done that day, but even weeks where it's been like that, where I only have 5 minutes a day occasionally, it still snowballs into something bigger. So it's been great. It's been a great thing for me, really. So I do have to say the pancakes thing made me laugh because when I was thinking about learning Latvian, the Latvian words that I would hear growing up occasionally, one that we used is pankukas. So anytime we made pancakes, we actually have always said pankukas because of my grandma. So, so it's just funny that your son requested that. But my kids knew pankukas before they knew pancakes, probably, just because that's been what it is for my family.
Wow. But do you have someone that you can talk to in Latvian?
Really, only my grandma. So my grandma is in her mid-90s now. So, but she lives far away from me, so I don't talk to her like in person very often. Actually, next month then we're doing that drive. It's like almost 6-hour drive to go see her. So I'm excited. She'll be like, "You're crazy." But she's adorable. So
does she know that you're learning Latvian?
I don't think she knows that I'm doing the VIP lessons. I think she was just like, "What are you talking about? You're learning," but she's probably used to just random stuff from me anyway. But yeah, I would love to visit Latvia someday, and I just feel like knowing the language would be so great. And we do have relatives there still, so I just think it's a cool thing to do. And I always grew up being so proud, being like half Latvian, and my mom's so proud that she's Latvian, and it's been exciting.
Well, actually, many of my students have similar stories, especially my students who are from the States, for example. Yeah, you share very similar stories.
Yeah.
And
I imagine Canada too.
Yeah. And it's really touching that you want to learn Latvian to get back to your roots. And yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, we had lessons. It is morning for you, so you get up early.
Yes.
Only to learn Latvian.
Yep, I get up early. Actually, the lessons this school year are different because I get my oldest on the first school bus, and then it's like lesson, then different school bus. It's busy, and then I'm often driving to the school after that for my youngest. So it's busy.
Yeah, and we've been chatting as well. We have Telegram group chat, the community, but we also have a private chat where you ask me questions. Can you tell us about this experience?
Oh my goodness. Well, the different chats, you mean?
About the possibility to ask me questions.
Yes. So, oh my gosh, I ask you so many questions, and I should probably do it in the group chat, but at first I was so intimidated, which to whoever's watching, you don't need to be intimidated. Everybody's super nice. That's a me thing.
They are.
Everybody is so nice and very supportive, but I'll ask you so many questions on our Telegram. And sometimes I'll ask you specific words. Like I remember vacuum cleaner. I was like, that word I cannot say. Can you please just say that word very slowly 3 times?
I think it's like, can you record this word? Yes, I will send you a private message where I say this word. So, what did I still say?
I remember the first word I was intimidated by was my samnietse. And
Ah,
it's like, I
uh-huh.
could not say it. I couldn't. So it's just
Yeah.
funny. That's progress though, because you look back and you're like, I can say that now without like
Mm,
stressing out. So it's funny.
mm,
But yes, there's a group chat, which is super helpful. And I love when people post pictures when they're in Latvia too. I'm like, oh, that's so
mm.
cool. But I like the poll, how you do that too, to see for the group speaking challenge, like when is everybody available? And you pick, I'm assuming whichever one has the most votes, but
Yeah.
only been to one of those. I think just one, just because my schedule's just crazy right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a good thing. I've watched a lot of the videos
Mhm,
afterwards, and that's been super, super helpful. My favorite ones are
mhm.
when you have to spin the wheel. What was that?
Yeah.
Maria's Karatu or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there are just a
Yeah.
lot of
I'm like,
questions.
oh, yeah, I love that one.
Yeah. Yeah, look, the community is really awesome. Like all the students that are there, they're so supportive. We send each other pictures. I ask them, like, what did you do this weekend? Then they send
Yeah.
pictures, and we chat in Latvian, also in English, of course, when we need to translate something. But yeah, it's like I think it's a good feeling that you have like friends from all over the world who are
Yeah.
also learning Latvian. Then you
Yeah.
all have something in common.
hmm I always love hearing like when somebody new joins the group, how you
Yeah.
ask them like, why are you learning Latvian? Because there's so many different reasons. So many people are in relationships with somebody from
Yes.
Latvia, or
Yeah.
people like me who are like half Latvian or, some sort of percentage Latvian.
Yeah.
Uh, some people are just working or going to school there. It's cool. So I love
Mm-hmm.
that question. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
when somebody new joins.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about Latvian as a language, um, many people say that Latvian grammar is crazy. But from my experience, you're doing so well with Latvian grammar. So, what are your thoughts about this? Like, do you think that Latvian grammar really is crazy, or?
It's tricky. I do legitimately think it's tricky, but I think it's
Mhm.
more intimidating at the start than anything. I think, like with most things, if you just break it down a little bit into smaller chunks that are manageable, then it
Yeah.
becomes easier. Like I remember when I first was introduced to the declension table, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot. But like I immediately noticed how you set it up. Like the first three were masculine, the next three were feminine. And I was like, okay, I might get confused on this one. So let's just take it slow from the start. I was like, today I'll just learn for like the nominative case,
Yeah.
like the masculine endings for today, the first three, bam.
Yeah.
And the next day is like, okay, I actually have that. Let's do the feminine one today. And for
Mhm.
some reason, that part it just worked. It just stuck. But I think
Mhm.
it's because I did that, So if you slow it down, like when I ask you to say a word super slowly, uh, you get it. So, but I think you also have to just be patient with yourself too, because even in your native language, you're going to make mistakes. So, of course,
Exactly.
learning something new, whether it's language or something else, is going to be mistakes. You don't learn without mistakes, though, right? So, um, but yes,
Yeah.
it's tricky, but I'd say manageable. Especially, I feel like how you've set it up. Um, makes it very easy, and you're always willing to answer a question. So if I'm confused about something, I'm typing to you saying, help me. And then you're there. So
Yeah. So I usually say it is better to take it slowly but
hmm
steady.
yeah.
Uh, it's no use that you go like run through different modules and then
hmm
like you like it didn't sink in, and
Yeah.
that's why you are like steps back.
Yeah, yeah. But sometimes I think it's okay to go a little ahead, just not to
Yeah,
go too crazy. But
of course.
like
Hmm.
sometimes when I do a first just video, I'll be like, what are the new verbs for this video? And I just
Yeah,
focus on that first and then, but just keep it manageable really is my thing. But yeah, I have Googled before and they're like Google is always like, yep, Latvian is a really tough language to learn. But I think it's really cool. So I'm enjoying every minute.
I think you need to be curious about the language.
Hmm.
I remember you texted me. Well, that's it. I watched something from A2. I had no business being there, but I just wanted to take a look. What?
I was so curious. I was so curious. I'm getting closer to the end of
Yeah,
the beginners
yeah.
portion. And I was just so curious. And I was like, I need to know. I need to know. I was like, let's just watch the first few, even though I have no business being there yet. But
Yeah.
actually, I think I am pretty close to being there. But
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
but it
you
was
are.
fun to do it, to sneak peek.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I told you, don't worry, I'm not going to be one. I was like, I know that's not right.
But you can. You can. Like, just to take a sneak peek.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have different learning styles. There are people who like to write everything down, other people prefer listening, repeating. So, what does it look like for you?
Oh man, it's been a learning process in itself
Hmm.
to figure out how to study again because I haven't been in school for like a long time. So like high
Hmm.
school is 20 years ago, then college like after. It's been a long time. Long time. So first I just watched the video. So I listened first and I think at the start I just was listening and then I was like, I'm not remembering it because I need more than that. So then I learned I really have to write it down. So
Hmm.
I make a million flashcards, really, or just in a notebook. Sometimes I write the same word like 5 times in a row to
Mm.
be able to recall where the accents go
Yeah.
on certain letters because I realized, I'm not always remembering that. And actually, it's kind of funny if I don't have paper when I'm thinking of a vocabulary word and if it has an accent mark somewhere, I've noticed like if I'm saying the word, like say there's an accent on the A, I'll go like this. I'll be like, say it's Riga, I'm going in Riga, Riga. I'd be like Riga,
Mm.
and I do this in the air as if I'm
Yeah.
doing it. And I just think that's so weird that I do that, but it's helpful um, to do so. But writing really has been key for me, just writing it down, then it sticks. But
Hmm.
you have to
Hmm.
figure out what works for you. So,
Yeah, exactly. I think most students are visual learners that you need to write down.
mhm.
Like mm, me too. I need to write down in order to remember. Also, it is also very important to understand whether this new word is in your passive vocabulary or in your active vocabulary. So if you
Mhm.
don't use this word, most probably it will be in your passive vocabulary.
Yeah.
Um, you may recognize this word. You maybe even know the meaning of it, but you don't know how to use it. And that's why it is very
Mhm.
important to use the word, make
Yep.
sentences, say it out loud as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it,
Yeah,
basically. That's what it
exactly.
feels like. So,
Exactly.
um, but yeah, I've
Yeah.
noticed I can't just do just PDFs or just writing it down because I do lose the pronunciation of it. So a lot of
Yeah.
times if I'm have a week where I'm studying mostly just looking at notes and then
Yeah.
I go back to watch a video and go, oh, I was actually saying that a little bit like off of what of how I would prefer to say it. So it's just interesting. Um,
Mm.
but I do really love learning in general. So not,
Ah,
it's always
yeah.
fascinating to me. But I think I don't understand how I just learn. I just do, you know. I try a million things, see what sticks.
Mhm. So, yeah, what would you say to someone who wants to start learning Latvian but is still hesitant?
Ooh, good.
Should I start? Or maybe later?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes there really are just bad times to start, but for the most part, I feel like you just have to jump in there and just start because, it's so easy to say tomorrow, like tomorrow I'll do this, but then there's always going to be an obstacle, like always, always.
Yeah.
So I think it's better to just really jump in and just get started. So sometimes that's a scary step, right? To start something new, but um, if you really want to learn, you just have to start. So you just have to sign up for Dotse's course. Just do it already. But yeah, mistakes will happen. They'll get through it. Snowball effect. That's
Yeah.
all they have to remember. Like little
Yeah.
things add up. So then
Mhm.
you'll
Exactly. Exactly. And mistakes are welcome. Like,
Mhm.
it is impossible to learn a language without making mistakes.
Yep. Yep.
So you should be ready that you will be making mistakes.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, I remember myself when I was a teenager. Um, I was scared to make mistakes because I
Hmm.
wanted to be a good student who gets
Hmm.
good grades, and that's why I was so scared to make mistakes. But I am learning. If like I want to use this particular word in a sentence. If
Hmm.
I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to use this word because I don't quite know how to use it. So I would use another word.
Yep. Use another instead. A little
Yeah,
avoidant maneuver there.
yeah. I will just avoid it.
But it hurts your progress, You just have
Exactly.
to, you kind of, with language learning, start to feel comfortable with the uncomfortable in a way. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you just kind of get used to it. So it gets easier as
Mm-hmm.
you go on. I feel like at the start, I felt like overwhelmed, like, oh, it's like hard for me to pick this up. But then it's like you look back, if you review like even a month later, like the previous lessons, you realize, oh, I know this. Like, but a month ago I didn't. A month ago I was struggling with this first like couple. But I think for me that was more just I hadn't been learning in so long, for something
Mm-hmm.
like bigger. But
Mm-hmm.
good thing.
Yeah. And you are doing so, so well. You are so sweet and you are so supportive as well. I really enjoy our lessons. Uh,
Me
you
too.
you are so attentive to details. You're very curious, and these two qualities, being attentive to details and being curious, are very, very important when you are learning a new language.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, thank
So
you.
thank you so much, Robin, for sharing your experience. And see you in the lessons again. See you in the chat. See you in the
Yeah.
lessons. Yeah. Liels, tev paldies, Robin.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
Labi, atā!
Ta-da!
Atā!